Hello and welcome back to Friday Night Magic here on StephenPlays. Today we are continuing in our Shadows over Innistrad playthrough with the third mission. We've taken on werewolves, we've taken on vampires. I have a funny feeling it's gonna be zombies today. Just call it intuition. The entries in the journal led Jace to the coast of Nephalia. Here too the ground has been warped into a strange formation rising from the sea. Hordes of zombies assist with construction, while dark shapes wheel overhead, drawn like moths to a flame. Jace ventures down to the water's edge to investigate. So yeah, werewolves, vampires, zombies, oh my. Jace versus the Ghoul Callers. Oh, that must be their boy band name. Opponent plays first. Let's see what we got here. We have an island, we have a fog bank, which is a great 2-drop. Love to have that thing around. Illusionary Servant, flying 3/4. When it becomes this target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. We've got Reckless Scholar, which is a 2/1 wizard. You can tap to make target player draw a card, then discard a card. Okay. We got 2 of those. Claustrophobia, which has been helpful in the past. It's an aura enchantment for a creature. Enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. And then also Pour Over the Pages. Sorcery, draw 3 cards, untap up to 2 lands, and then discard a card for 5. Now the problem here, and perhaps you see it, the problem here is we don't have any land. Which is a shame because I love this hand. I would love to start with a fog bank. That's a really great way to keep everyone off our back for a while because you can prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to by fog bank. It's a great 2-drop. And we might get an island, but then we might get mana screwed. So it pains me, but we're going to draw a new hand. There's our land, and we still got the fog bank. I feel much better. In addition, we have a Reckless Scholar, and hey, an Aberrant Researcher. That's a flying 3/2. At the beginning of your upkeep, put the top card of your library into the graveyard. If it's an instant or sorcery, it transforms into Perfected Form, which is a 5/4 flyer. That's a good card, and we have 2 of them. This hand is objectively better than the last. Let's see what happens. So the Ghoul Callers are blue, or at least that's one of the colors, which is interesting. Was expecting black, but these are sea zombies, so I guess it makes sense. The only thing we can do this turn is play a single island, and now we must end our turn. See what the Ghoul Callers got. Okay, so it's black and blue, which is what they'll be when I'm done with them. Ghoul Caller's Accomplice. Human rogue creature 2/2. Pay 4 and exile Ghoul Caller's Accomplice from your graveyard. Put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So it's pretty cool. It's a 2/2, and if this gets sent to the graveyard, you can pay 4 and exile it out of the graveyard to create another 2/2. So that's pretty neat. It's a 2/2 for 2, but it has added value later on. It's also bad because, you know, for me, I have to remember that if that thing's in the graveyard, it can pop up and do that. It's kind of bad. Alright, so we're going to put Fog Bank into play, obviously, and that's going to be able to hold off most everything. I mean, once Ghoul Caller has, once they have 2 creatures, then things will get a little more difficult, but yeah, I'm okay. I'm feeling good about this. Putting in a Drowned Catacomb that can tap for either blue or black. Obviously, the creature's not going to attack us. Crow of Dark Tidings, a 2/1 flying zombie bird. When Crow of Dark Tidings enters the battlefield or dies, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Huh. Okay. You might be saying, isn't that a bad thing? Why would you want to lose cards? Well, when you're dealing with black, a lot of times they have, like, far more accessibility into the graveyard than other colors, so that's actually not necessarily a bad thing. We definitely want an island. Then we've got Nagging Thoughts. Sorcery. Look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the other into the graveyard. Or Madness 2. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness costs, or put it into your graveyard. Okay. So if you discard this card, discard it into exile and pay its madness costs, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get the island in. Reckless Scholar. seems like a really good way to start manipulating our hand, because we can draw and discard a card and start getting exactly what we want. Nagging Thoughts could also be pretty cool. I think this probably makes more sense because it's going to be summoning sick and won't be able to tap this turn, so we should probably go ahead and get that out. There we go. We go to the attack step. I can't do that because the only creature that's not summoning sick is a defender, which can't attack, so I move over to the Ghoul Caller. Ghoul Caller's got 4 land and a compelling deterrence. Instant. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Then that player discards a card if you control a zombie. Oh. Okay. That's unfortunate. Well then. Choose a card to discard. So, I'm assuming, I haven't used Madness, but from what I can tell, if you discard a card with Madness, you can cast it immediately instead of putting it into your graveyard. If you cast it this way, you may pay its Madness cost instead of its regular mana cost. So, this is an example where we probably could have played this card and used Madness, but now we don't have any untapped mana. So, let's not do that. Instead... see, what is this? Welcome to the Fold. How did I not check this? Welcome to the Fold is a 4. It costs 4. It's a sorcery. Madness X, blue. Gain control of target creature if its toughness is 2 or less. If Welcome to the Fold's Madness cost was paid, instead gain control of that creature if its toughness is X or less. Interesting. Okay. But we have to discard something. I would say we definitely want to keep both of these guys. They get huge. They get super big, and that can help us win the game pretty quickly. We already have one of these, and I don't think it's discarding the Reckless Scholar. It's just coming back to our hand, so we could get rid of one and have the other. That actually seems kind of fine to me. Oh, wait, does it go to the... wait, does it go to the graveyard? Hold on, sorry. I thought that it went back to my hand. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, then that player discards a card if you control a zombie. Oh wait, it was already in my hand. I only had 1. I didn't have 2. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm dumb. Crap. That was the one that came back. For some odd reason, I thought it hadn't done that yet, and I just had 2. And now I feel stupid. Well, there goes that plan. That was a misunderstanding on my part. Sometimes, whenever you're playing physical Magic, it's a little more helpful because you can see what's going on. Okay, I need to block somewhere. So we got a 2/2. And we got a 2/1. And it doesn't really matter which one happens, right? Nope. It really doesn't. I'll block this one because I can. So I'm taking 2 damage, but that's okay. I still have some fantastic board control here because of the Aberrant Researchers. If I can get those in, flip a top card, and transform them both, I'm gonna have this guy in a world of hurt. So I'm not real concerned, just a little frustrated now. Let's go ahead and get this in then. Here we go. Move to the attack step. Can't attack. So that is the end of my turn. Check out the Ghoul Caller. Another Drowned Catacomb. No attacks. But something big. Ghoul Steed. A 4/4 zombie horse creature. Pay 3 and discard 2 cards to return Ghoul Steed from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. It's pretty cool. That horse will always come back as long as they have cards to discard. Okay, so now we get a big old horse. It was not a instant or sorcery. It was a creature. It was an Illusionary Servant. But that's actually okay. I'm okay with that. And the reason I'm okay with that is because now I'm going to put in this one. Because now, if the top card flips, I'm pretty sure they'll both transform simultaneously. Pretty sure that's how it works. And that would be great. That would be more convenient. So I'm going to put this one in now. And now it's just a waiting game and hoping that we can get exactly what we want. Because if we can, then they're both going to transform into, I think, flying 5/4s, which is good. It's very good. So we got a flying 3/2. No reason to attack. in my opinion, because if that bird blocks us, it will kill this guy before he can reach his true potential, and that sounds terrible to me. So we're going to skip the attack, go to the end step, switch turns. Things are getting serious now. Playing Crow of Dark Tidings, another flying 2/1 zombie bird. 4 creatures and 3 creatures. Plenty of land. Moving to the attack step, Ghoul Caller has decided to swing with the horse. It's a little odd. They have a card in hand, which is a little worrisome, but, you know, there's really no reason not to block with the Fog guy, the Fog Bank, just because no combat damage actually happens. Okay. That was weird, but sure. Alright, come on, baby. Instant or sorcery. It is... Oh, they have separate checks. Okay, I wasn't sure of that, but apparently they do separate checks for them, which is cool. So the first one didn't get it because the first one was an island, but the second one was a sorcery, Pour Over the Pages, and that transformed the second one. Cool, so now we have a flying 5/4. Let's see, Stormgeist. Stormgeist's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your hand, so it can be a good one, can be a bad one. When it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. But they've got 2 flying birds, which is going to make this a little more difficult. We've also got Nagging Thoughts, which honestly we might want to hold on to, because if we have to discard anything else, we could pay its madness cost and at least have something to play, which is nice. Welcome to the Fold. Gain control of creature if its toughness is 2 or less. Yeah, that's not going to do me a whole lot of good at this moment either. We could get in an island, but I don't even know if I want to do that right now. Getting in the Sturmgeist probably makes the most sense, but also if I do have to discard something, I want to be able to play Nagging Thoughts. That said, the Ghoul Caller has 1 card. Just 1. Only 1 card. And that's not particularly good. You know, let's start by going into the attack step. So the attack step is here. Can attack with both. I gotta admit, I'm actually still a little leery to attack with my 5/4, and the reason is that they could double block. I don't really expect them to. I really don't, especially since they have 20 health. But they could, if they wanted to, block with both 2/1s and take out my 5/4 flyer. I'm gonna call their bluff, though, because I really don't think they're gonna do that. No blockers. 5 damage. 1/4 of the way there. Feels good. Alright. The game is recommending Sturmgeist, and I think I agree. We'll go ahead and get that in. And I haven't played a land this turn, so I might as well go ahead and do that. Sturmgeist gets more and more powerful the more cards you have in hand. And that's the only thing making me like want to hold on to this island right now, is because it does affect how powerful the Sturmgeist gets. Maybe I'll just bide my time. Maybe I'll just hold on to it. I have 5 lands. I can play pretty much everything that comes along, so I'm not real concerned. What is this? Flesh to Dust. Oh, God. Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. All right, which one are you going after? The 5/4? No, the Sturmgeist. Oh, that sucks. That also makes me wish I would have put down my island, but whatever. Okay, so obviously we want to block the horse here. Then we also have the 2/2, but if I block the 2/2 with my 3/2, then I lose the potential to become bigger, so I'm just going to hold off. Once again, I'm not worried. I'm really not worried here. I feel like I still have pretty good board control. And they only have one hand card, so... Did I say 1? Because I meant none. Jack Diddley. Okay, this triggers. Come on, baby. It was an enchantment, unfortunately, so still haven't transformed that other 3/2. With the Sturmgeist gone, there's really no reason to hold on to my hand cards. This is Pour Over the Pages. Draw 3 cards, untap up to 2 lands, and discard a card. Yeah. Let's go with that. Let's go. It's telling me to play the island, but I disagree. Let's go with Pour Over the Pages to give me some ammunition. If I absolutely have to, I can discard the island because I really don't need it. So let's do this. Okay, choose a land to untap. This one and this one. To choose a card to discard. So we got 2 islands. We managed to pick up a Reckless Scholar and also a Sleep. Tap all creatures target player controls. Those creatures don't untap during that player's next untap step. It is a marvelous card, and I love it. Huh. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we'll just get rid of one of the lands. Okay, we still have 2 untapped mana. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll put in an island and then get the Reckless Scholar in. Because at that point, we can start controlling things a little bit more to our liking, using the cards that we want to use. So that's what I'm going to do. We still have Nagging Thoughts, but that's not that great. I think I'd rather have Reckless Scholar. So let's go ahead and put this out. Go into the attack step. Could have played that during second main. I don't think it's really going to matter at this point. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to swing it to 5-4. I think maybe at some point, when the Ghoul Caller is desperate enough, they may choose to block with... Yep, there it is. Okay. I was wondering that was going to happen. That means we're all going to trade, but it also means that they have lost all of their air support. So I'm actually pretty cool with that. The air support's gone. I still have the Fog Bank to prevent that Demon Horse from coming at me. This is not that bad. They have a lot of mana, but they don't have any creatures. Move to the attack step. Okay, so they do have 2 creatures. Block step. Exactly what you expected. Blocking the horse, going to take 2. Still waiting on my 3/2 flyer to turn into a 5/4 flyer. Still waiting on that transformation. It has not happened yet, but I am not losing hope. What is this? Okay, that is a, that looks like it's straight out of Silent Hill. Zombie horror creature, 3/5. When it enters the battlefield, if you control another zombie, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So they're going to get a chance to draw and discard a card. They don't have any hand cards, so they're going to lose it. That's amazing. That's awesome. Unless it was Madness. I mean, if they had Madness, I guess they could maybe play it. Unfortunately, no. I did not get an instant or sorcery. I still have this guy, which is unfortunate. Let's see. When uninvited, Geist deals combat damage to a player, transform it. And it can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. So I think that means it could be blocked by the 2/2. Okay. I also have Sleep, which could be very helpful. I think it's also wanting me to do this. Target player draws a card, then discards a card. Huh. But is there something I'm willing to get rid of? I definitely want to hold on to Sleep. That could be something that I use to just straight up win the game. Nagging Thoughts, I wouldn't really honestly mind getting rid of. That's not super important to me. Maybe I will go ahead and use this ability. I'm thinking about getting Uninvited Geist in as well. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Draw a card, discard a card. I got an Ophelia Moondrakes, which is a 5/5 flyer. That sounds awesome. I do not have enough mana to play it, I think, but at least I have it. When it enters the battlefield, target creature gains flying until end of turn. You can also pay 4 and exile it from your graveyard. Creatures you control gain flying until end of turn. So that is something I want to hold on to. I definitely want to hold on to. I think Uninvited Geist is a good card too. Nagging Thoughts... Well, that's the thing. If I want to play this, I need 7 land, and I think... Yeah, I have 6. So, as much as I didn't care for before, I actually may need this, because then it allows me to look at the 2 cards, and if one's a land, I can make sure I get that land. Right now, I'm just kind of sitting, waiting, hoping for land. So maybe I want to keep Nagging Thoughts. Welcome to the Fold. Gain control of the creature if its toughness is 2 or less. If Welcome to the Fold's Madness cost was paid, instead gain control of that creature if its toughness is X or less. Yeah, I don't... The only creature that has toughness 2 or less is that 2/2. And I could maybe take control of it, so then Uninvited Geist could get through, and then it would get transformed. What's it get transformed into? A 3 through the capability. I mean, that's good. That's good. But I need... Now that I'm looking at it, I actually need all the cards, because I have all these ideas. I have all these great ideas. But if I'm going to go this route, which seems like a really... seems like the best route. A 5/5 flyer seems great. then I definitely have to hold on to Nagging Thoughts. Sleep is a great card. Welcome to the Fold. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to, I think, get rid of Welcome to the Fold. That's what I'm going to discard. You discarded one or more cards that have Madness. Oh, yeah! Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Oh, I forgot about Madness. I was just so focused on discarding, I forgot about Madness. Well... crap. Huh. Choose the card you want to cast next, or choose Finish if you don't want to cast any of them. Okay, shoot. Well, we're doing it now. We're gonna cast this card, because why the heck not? Dang, I wish I would have discarded Nagging Thoughts. I completely forgot about Madness, and I feel dumb. So we can take control of a creature whose... is it Toughness or Power? I need to know that, because I'm casting it now. It's happening. It is... Toughness. Okay. Toughness is 5, Toughness is 4, Toughness is 2. And how much does this cost? Wow. You know what that means? We can take control of the horse. That's actually pretty sweet. That is actually pretty friggin' sweet. Okay, yeah. Give me the horse. This was not my plan. But I forgot about Madness as a mechanic, and now I have the horse. And it's wild to me. Also, why would I attack? Oh, it's because I'm flying. Oh, yeah, I'm flying. It doesn't have anything that can fly now. Well, then. Yeah, this worked out well. Madness is a great mechanic, by the way. It's just best if you remember it exists. Because if I would have remembered, I would have gotten rid of Nagging Thoughts and went ahead and got that land so I could play the Moondrake. But whatever. Alright, from under the floorboards, a sorcery. Put 3 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield, and you gain 3 life. If from under the floorboards Madness cost was paid, instead put X of those tokens onto the battlefield tapped, and you gain X life. Okay, and it has a Madness cost. So they're going to get 3 2/2s, and they gain 3 life. That sucks. I'm really glad I held on to Sleep. Attack step, they decide not to. You know, this is a really good example of, you know, just when you think someone is down and out. You know, they're down, they have 15 life, I have board control, they don't have any cards in hand. Suddenly they've got all these zombies, and that's pretty cool that they have that possibility. I also got the island that I needed to play the Nephalia Moondrakes, which is pretty phenomenal, and I still have Nagging Thoughts. So great, I can hold on to that in case I have to discard something later. Well, this guy's definitely not going to get through now, so Uninvited Geist means a lot less to me. It also means that if I wanted to, I could go ahead and use this, because I could get rid of Uninvited Geist. They have 2/2s, and like his whole thing is that he's got to deal combat damage to a player. That's not going to happen when the opponent's board is full of 2/2s. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. See if I get something better. I got another island. Uninvited Geist could still be useful if we manage to do Sleep. That's true. Oh, we could also discard this. And if we discard it, we could pay the Madness. Interesting. Of course, if both of the cards are awesome, then I'll be sad. Also, if we do that, we won't be able to put Nephalia Moondrakes in right now. That's the other problem, because right now we have 7 mana. Okay. Deliberately getting rid of creatures, that kind of sucks, though. Because we could still have some use with the Geist if we manage to pull off Sleep. So I'm thinking maybe we'll ditch an island, we'll put another island in, and we'll get the Moondrakes out. Ditch an island. Seems fine. I'm okay with this. Put another island in, get the Moondrakes out. And they can't do anything about it. Choose a creature to gain flying. Probably the one that would make the most sense. So now that he's come in, the horse gets to fly this turn, which means that I get to do a pretty stellar amount of damage. I just got to be careful because, you know, I do have to have some guys back to block with. I'm still going to have the Fog Bank. I have a 5/5 to block with now. They're not going to kill me. They're not going to kill me next turn. It's not going to happen. Confirm attack. That's another solid 7 damage. This turned out really well. I've managed to regain control of the game. I shouldn't even say regain. Like I think probably since the beginning I've had control of the match, which seems good. All right, the opponent has got 5 creatures. Chooses not to attack and instead casts a Stitchwing Scob, a flying 3/1, pay 2 and discard 2 cards to bring it from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And you gotta remember, it probably, if I'm not mistaken, I think it still has more of those cards in the graveyard, so it might be able to bring some back. Can this thing finally transform? Oh, thank God. Did we win? We won, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we could cast Sleep and win the game. Just the Wind. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Madness. If you discard this card, discard it into exile, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Tap all creatures target player controls. Those creatures don't untap during that player's next untap step. That's gonna do it. They have 8 health. I'd be able to swing 5, 4, 2, and 5. That's the answer. That is the answer. They don't have any cards in their hand. It's over. Sleepy time! Sleep is such a great card. It's been around for a long time, and it's just really, really fantastic. I could just swing and win, but it's like, don't you want to play the Uninvited Geist? I'm like, not really. It's not really necessary. I'm kind of interested to see what else is in this deck. But honestly, I'd rather swing with that creature instead and just do a ton of damage. Yeah, let's continue. Let's go into the attack step and go ahead and wrap this up. This has been one of the longer matches. I'm surprised that it's not telling me to swing with everyone. That seems confusing. It took a minute for the game to think about it. It was like, oh wait, yeah, maybe you should. And I'm like, yeah, I like to win. Okay. 5 damage. 4 damage. These poor zombies. 2 damage. And then an additional 5 damage. -8. Feel pretty good about that. And that's it. Like I said, that was a bit of a longer one, but it was fun. We managed to keep control of the game. There was a few points in there where I was like, actually the zombies are doing good. They're still holding their own. But in the end, it didn't matter. And I forgot about Madness. Darn it. But it ended up working anyway. I was getting rid of that card, and then it was like, do you want to play Madness? And I was like, oh, crap, yeah. That's one of those things, if I was playing Physical Magic and had forgotten, I don't have any sort of UI coming up in the middle of my Physical Magic game to prompt me and remind me, so that was helpful. Champion of the Drowned Catacomb. And Millstone. Little extra bonus things. Let's see what it says. The ghouls claw at Jace, but this provides little information about the stone edifice before him. The sounds of frenzied wings overhead turn his gaze skyward. Angels. He's seen them before in the journal's entries. He follows the angels and the journal's clues onward toward the town of Thraben. Cool. Seems good. So there are people attacking me, but it don't mean no thing. It looks like next time we're going to be fighting angels and their leader, Pointy McPirate. Pointy McSharp Pirate. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Next week, the continuation of Friday Night Magic. See you then.